The wife of a fallen soldier mourning her loss and now fighting with the president. What a congresswoman says the president told La David Johnson's wife.
And I believe that's what caught the shooter's attention.
And tonight, for the first time, we are hearing from the security guard shot in the deadly mass shooting in Las Vegas.
KGUN 9 on your side at 10 starts now.
Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Guy Atchley.
And I'm Stella Inger. Tucson voters will soon get the chance to weigh in on a proposed sales tax increase that would fund scholarships for preschoolers. 9
on your sides, Whitney Clark is here to give us a deeper look at Prop 204.
Well, proponents say if Proposition 204 is passed, the half-cent sales tax would generate about $50 million a year. The financial aid program called Strong Start Tucson would fund high-quality early childhood education scholarships for up to 8,000 3- and 4-year-olds within Tucson city limits. I spoke to the group who helped draft the initiative and those taking issue with it. The signs are popping up across town. Vote yes or no on Proposition 204. Penelope Jacks is the chair for the Yes campaign. She was once a kindergarten teacher and saw firsthand that the benefits of preschool go beyond just reading and writing.
What is much more important was the social and emotional things that children learn in preschool, which is how to cooperate with other kids, how to work as a team, how to sit quietly in a circle and listen to another child or listen to the teacher.
While Ted Maxwell, the president of the Southern Arizona Leadership Council, believes early childhood education is important, he has concerns, including accountability and governance.
There's very little to no detail in how the program itself is going to be structured. There's no definition of how much the scholarships will be or the vouchers. Who's eligible?
The program would be overseen by a 7-person commission appointed by the Tucson mayor and council. It would include early childhood education providers and experts. They would determine a sliding scale for family contributions based on income.
All of the trust and all of the faith is placed in an unelected commission that has no responsibility and no accountability to the voters. Yet they want to take $50 million of voter and taxpayer money to fund the effort.
It is the job of the mayor and council to appoint people who have expertise, who have no conflicts of interest, who have the best interests of children at heart. If they're not not appointing those people, mayor and council are accountable to the voters.
Opponents worry the measure has no sunset date, but supporters argue there will always be a need.
I don't see a sunset on people having children. I think there's going to be 3- and 4-year-olds as far out as we can ever see. The second thing is a sunset makes sense when something's an experiment. This is not an experiment. It's been tried in cities around the country and shown to be successful.
It isn't perpetuity. It's forever. Whether the program works or not, whether they're able to expend the money or not, the half-cent sales tax will continue until the voters undo it.
Well, as was mentioned in the story, there have been other cities that have implemented similar programs. We take a look at how it's worked in other places like Denver in the story on our website, kgun9.com. Guy, Stella.
New tonight, Wildcat fans may be able to have a cold one this year when their team is on a hot streak. The University of Arizona is in the process of trying to get their liquor license to sell beer and wine at men's basketball games at McHale Center in the upcoming season. Athletic officials say it's about enhancing the experience for fans. They say they're also considering selling alcohol at Arizona Stadium in the future. No word at what point in the season that change could actually come to McHale. Tonight, a jewelry store robbed at La Encantada. Pima County Sheriff's officials say it happened at Ben Bridge Jewelers around 5:30 this evening. A man walked in with a weapon, stole jewelry from the store. No word on exactly what was taken. Deputies are describing the robber as a black man in his early 20s wearing a blue hat, blue pants. They say he had a beard and was wearing glasses, also had several visible tattoos. Deputies say he left the scene in a black Toyota.
The Vegas hotel security guard who first came in contact with a man responsible for the deadliest shooting in U.S. history is speaking out for the first time.
Walking down, I felt a burning sensation. I went to go lift my pant leg up and I saw the blood. That's when I called it in on my radio that shots have been fired.
Appearing today on The Ellen Show, Jesus Campos said he originally went to investigate a door alarm on the 32nd floor of the Mandalay Bay. When he found the stairwell door bolted shut, he took an elevator to the floor and let a door slam behind him. That's when he says he heard gunfire and felt the burning. Now he's on a path to healing in more ways than one.
I'm doing better each day, slowly but surely, just healing physically and mentally.
At least one victim is already suing Mandalay Bay's management company for what her attorney argues was a slow response time. 58 people were murdered, more than 500 injured. The gunman behind a deadly shooting at a Baltimore business park is now in custody. Radhi Prince killed 3 people and wounded 2 others at his job early this morning. Prince was arrested after shooting at 6 people at a Delaware car lot. He has been arrested 42 times and been convicted of 15 felonies. Tonight, the mother and wife of a fallen soldier are accusing the president of disrespect. A Florida congresswoman says the president told the soldier's wife, quote, he knew what he was getting into during a condolence call. Sergeant LaDavid Johnson was killed 2 weeks ago in an ambush attack in Niger. Today, the president called his pregnant wife to pay his respects, but the fallen soldier's mother and wife and Congresswoman Frederica Wilson say he was disrespectful on that call.
When she actually hung up the phone, she looked at me and said, he didn't even know his name. Now that's the worst part.
The president and the White House staff who were in the room during the call say he was very respectful and pleasant. President Trump said today he would provide proof of how that call went, but now White House press sources say there is no recording.
History on Wall Street today. The Dow Jones Industrials closed at 23,000 for the first time.
Yeah, earlier this afternoon, we sat down with a financial advisor who explained what this means for all of us. He says the Dow doesn't affect the economy like you might think it does.
We're talking about the Dow today because it went up. So the Dow Jones goes up, goes down. Today it hit a new high. So my question to you is, how much of a pay raise do you get tomorrow because of it?
Nothing.
Nothing. Very few people do, because the Dow doesn't represent the economy. The Dow Jones represents what some people think 30 companies are worth. Overall, investors think these 30 companies are worth more today than they were yesterday. And so then we ask the question, well, why does that happen? Well, today happened to be a day that a lot of the companies, pretty much they said, okay, here's where our profits were for this year. And some of them came in pretty good.
Todd Anderson says realistically, if you want to make a lot of money, you should have gotten in last year because it's already grown.
Tomorrow marks the 30th anniversary of the Dow's market's all-time low. That is referred to as Black Monday.
Kyler Diggs taking a look outside for us. Kyler, it's looking mild.
Boy, it sure is. And in fact, these numbers that I'm looking at, they're high too. 96 degrees was our high today in Tucson, 67 the overnight low. That's way above the averages, but still below the record high. Looks like more 90s are on the way, though. We do have a little bit of a break in there. We'll have your forecast coming up in a little bit. Much more to come on K-Gun 9 on your side. Stay with us.
Child sex trafficking operates in the shadows, but a string of arrests the FBI announced today is designed to pull sex traffickers out of the shadows and into prisons.
Now Your Side's Craig Smith reports on this national and international crackdown designed to give victims a normal life.
This video provided by the FBI gives an insider's view of what it takes to stop sex traffickers and rescue the children they drove into prostitution. This is undercover work in Colorado and Ohio, but similar operations happened in Arizona, especially around Maricopa County. Advertising matches prostitutes and customers and helps the agents find both. Agents watch the motels and the truck stops.
Mike, if you want to go ahead and start moving, I got the car.
Pagers and cell phones are part of the process for an international business.
You from Russia? How did you end up coming from Russia to Denver and do this? How did that happen?
This is the 11th year for the program the FBI calls Operation Cross Country. Besides the U.S., it includes international law enforcement from Canada, the U.K., Thailand, Cambodia, and the Philippines. The operation recognizes the young girls are more victim than criminal, forced into selling sex, while some are still in their early teens. Agents work to lock up the pimps, but unlock new lives for the women.
If you want to stop all of this, stop what you're doing, stop this work, you can call that and they can do that for you. They can help you stay in the United States or go back home to family. So you don't have to deal with the scary stuff.
In 3 days, Operation Cross Country recovered 84 young people and arrested 120 of the people who forced them into selling sex. Craig Smith, KCON 9 on your side.
And Kyler, I feel really good about this number. We can open our windows tonight.
Isn't it nice? These
Very
nights are
nice.
just absolutely gorgeous. We're seeing partly cloudy skies, Stella, but there's more 90s on the way. We're going to talk about that in your forecast coming up next on KCON 9 on your side.
Breaking news, shots fired on the east side.
Not in your sides, Jennifer Martinez is live near Pantano and Wrightstown. Jenny, what are you seeing?
Well, Stella and Guy, right now you can hear right up above me there is a large police presence here and also a helicopter. They've been in this area kind of circling around the Pantano and the Wrightstown area. Right behind me you can see that there is a strong police presence. When I got here on scene about 10 minutes ago, I heard shots fired and it was really coming from this area right here. And you can see that police have kind of narrowed down here. I also saw some police officers kind of going into that car wash. And I want you to, we'll pan over the camera right over here. You can see that there's another police presence over at the Desert Sports and Fitness. No idea what police are doing there, but there is also a strong police presence on that side too. So you can just kind of get the idea of how big this police presence is. They have blocked off, from what I am seeing and where I'm standing, they blocked off the intersection of Pantano and Wrightstown, and cars have been coming through this parking lot to kind of get away from that. So they've blocked that off because they're zeroing down over at Desert Sports and Fitness. Right now, we have no idea what happened in this area, but of course, we will keep you guys updated and bring you all of that information on air and online. You can head over to our Facebook page, Twitter, to make sure that you stay up to date. But right now, live in Tucson, Jenny Martinez, KGUN 9 on your side.
Jenny, thank you. And I just checked that Desert Sports and Fitness is open until midnight. A lot of people go work out late. You might want to avoid that area for right now.
And now here's Skylar.
Yeah, let's talk some weather, and it's another beautiful night out there, coming off of another warm day. 75 degrees right now in Tucson at the airport, 66 degrees in Sierra Vista. Skies are clearing out after we saw those partly cloudy skies earlier. 71 in Safford, 58 in Show Low. Now let's take a look at our trend for tomorrow. We're going to start out with some partly cloudy skies. Might see a few clouds throughout the day, but temperatures climbing once again back into the lower 90s in Tucson. And take a look at this right here. It's the old temperature tracker I've had fired up for the last few days. 17 out of 18 days in the month of October, we have seen temperatures exceeding 90 degrees in Tucson. That is really an amazing stretch, and it looks like we're going to add a few more to that with one little break in between. We'll talk about that in the 7-day. Right now, let's talk some numbers across the Southwest. 42 in Albuquerque, 54 Flagstaff, and we're at 77 degrees in Yuma. Still 86 degrees in Palm Springs. We did see just a few showers trying to develop. We squeezed a little bit of moisture out of those clouds across Cochise County, and then a nice little line of light showers developed just to the east of Phoenix there. All this moving off to the east. It's in association with a weak disturbance moving through, but the bigger storm system is off the coast of Washington and Oregon, and that's already bringing some rain and even a little bit of snow in some of the higher elevations to that region, and that moisture is going to sag to the south a little bit and give some relief to some of the firefighting efforts in Northern California. Eastern half of the country looking pretty good. It's been real quiet over the last couple of days. Temperatures kind of all over the board, as you would expect at this time of the year. 39 in Bismarck, 60 in Chicago, 51 in Atlanta, 68 in LA, and then tomorrow afternoon, pretty typical for this time of the year. A lot of 60s on the map, a couple of 70s on there as well, and 70s along the Gulf Coast, 60s along the West Coast, and the warm spot will continue to be the desert Southwest. Futurecast shows this little system moving through. It'll push out, and then here comes all that moisture into the northwest. We're really hoping to get that rain and snow falling in northern and central California. I think we're going to get it over the next couple of days, and hopefully that will ease some of the fire situation, but not all of it. 50 degrees in Wilcox tonight, 60 in Green Valley to the west of Tucson, lower 60s around the metro area. We'll see low to mid 60s, 64 in Vail, 48 degrees in Summerhaven. And then for tomorrow, highs back into the 80s across Cochise County. Just the slightest chance of a sprinkle or two. And we're going to go with 88 degrees in Nogales to the west of Tucson. The 90s return, 95 in Ajo and Sells. Around the metro area, Corona de Tucson, 92 degrees. We'll go with that one in Vail as well. And in Summerhaven, 71 degrees. And we're going to be looking at a little bit of a cool down Friday. Breezy conditions come in here, and that will usher in some cooler air, 84 degrees on Saturday, but then it's right back into the 90s. In fact, look at that, 97 degrees by Tuesday, but a nice morning for the Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk at Armory Park. We're going to be right back on KGUN 9 on your side.
Now, KGUN 9 on your side sports with sports director Jason Barr.
Getting hot at the right time. The Dodgers are unbeaten in the postseason, and tonight at Wrigley Field, LA was trying to sweep the champion Cubs and advance to the World Series. The Cubbies down 3-0. Pitcher Jake Arrieta set to become a free agent first inning. He strikes out Andre Ethier. 9 strikeouts over 6 2/3 innings. In the second inning, no score until Wilson Contreras changes that with this solo shot off Alex Wood to make it 1-0. 2 batters later, Javier Baez does the same. Cubs win 3-2 to stay alive. The Dodgers, though, still lead the series 3-1.
Congratulations last night. Oh, hey, you're a Dodger fan too. Yeah, go Dodgers. Yes, thank you.
The woman being congratulated is Alex Verdugo's mom. He's the Dodger rookie outfielder from Tucson who went to Saguaro High School. Mom is Shelly. She's a stylist at Gadabout Salon. Our own Erica Weston caught up with her this morning. And if you missed that story on our 6 o'clock news, you can see it on KGUN9.com. At Yankee Stadium, it's Game 5 of the American League Championship Series against Houston. Tied at 2 games each is the series. 1-0 Yankees in the third. Masahiro Tanaka, the strikeout. He had 8. Superstar rookie Aaron Judge at bat here. And the double down the left field line off Dallas Keuchel. Brett Gardner's going to score. Yankees win 5-0. New York now has a 3-2 series lead. It might be a long season for the Phoenix Suns. They lost by 48 points tonight at home to Portland. No kidding. It is their worst loss ever in a season opener. Arizona football defensive back Jace Whitaker learned football from his dad, who still critiques his games. Except last Saturday, Jace's dad had to do that from the hospital, where he was admitted for what turned out to be stomach cancer. So Whitaker on the field, knowing that against UCLA, responds with 2 interceptions, including this one for a touchdown. The junior from California was a big part of that 47-30 win, and his dad had a message for him before the game.
He told me not to worry about him, which is obviously a hard thing to do, but he knows how much the game was important, and what he really wanted to do was just see me play good, and so I had to focus that.
Dad has since come home from the hospital. Arizona football at Cal on Saturday, Arizona basketball with the Red-Blue game on Friday. And we're coming right back after this on KGUN 9 at 10 o'clock. Stay with us.
We are still following breaking news right now. Shots fired on the east side, a massive police presence.
9 on your sides. Jennifer Martinez is on the scene. Jennifer.
Well, Guy and Stella, I'm actually hearing helicopter circling around this area here on Wrightstown and Pantano. So just to give you a brief kind of summary of what I'm seeing here, I'm seeing 2 scenes. I'm seeing a scene right behind me, right over at the Desert Sports and Fitness Gym. There's a large police presence there. There's also a large police presence on Wrightstown and Pantano. And then I'm going to kind of pan over the camera here, and there's another scene here at this car wash. When I actually got here on scene about 10 o'clock, I actually heard gunshots that were fired, and I also saw police going into that car wash. No word yet on what's in there and what's going on, but that's what I'm seeing right now. We have reached out to the Tucson Police Department, and we haven't heard back from them yet, but of course we will keep you guys updated on KGUN9.com, on air and online. I'm sending it back to you.
Jenny, thank you, and tune in to Good Morning Tucson for the very latest on that as well. Kyler joins us now with a look outside.
Yeah, we're going to be seeing more 90s in the forecast as we take a look at this.